Hi guys, welcome to my first podcast. My name is Cameron Turner. I am a fitness content creator from Australia, and my goal is to inspire as many people as possible to live a better life. I do coaching as well. If any of you guys have any inquiries, give me a message at Cameron_Turner03 on my Instagram. I recently just got shadow banned on my main account, so I have started a new account. But it is a bit annoying because Instagram doesn't really push out real content. A lot of people who have a voice trying to make a change in the world get limited, and obviously the Instagram have seen this and they've limited my account, which does suck. But hey, I mean, what can you do? So we're back again. We're back on Instagram. We are here to try and inspire and motivate a lot of you guys in your day-to-day lives. So this is just going to be a podcast about myself, my outlook on life, trying to relate a lot of content to you guys, how I've overcome a lot of my struggles, adversities, and many things, what got me into the gym. That's what we're going to be going on this podcast. And we're going to have some good guest names come on. I'm really looking forward to it. And so welcome to Hustlers Podcast. So to start off with, how did I get into the gym? So we're going to go over this. Basically, how I got into the gym is a classic gym bro story. Basically got my heart broken with this. I believe it was in 2018. I had my first heartbreak, and I mean, at the time I thought she was the love of my life, as everyone really does. And this was my first. This is my girl, like my first everything, virginity, kiss, everything. So obviously she meant to be part of me, and then obviously we had our breakup, and then that broke me, and I needed an outlook, a way to kind of escape the world, and I was playing soccer at the time. If any of you guys don't know, I'll get into a bit of this more bit later, but if any of you guys don't know, I used to play semi-professional soccer, in which I quit and then pursued a basketball career, in which again I quit for the gym. So I'm a full-time bodybuilder now. I love the gym. I love my body weight. Sorry, not body weight. We don't do calisthenics around here. I love my heavy movements and such. Just trying to look aesthetic and trying to inspire a lot of you guys. So that was my first heartbreak, and that really broke me. And in that, I found myself in the gym. It was basically my second home, and I loved it. I got into it very skinny, roughly at around 60 kilos. So as you could probably imagine, as a little skinny soccer guy, getting to the gym, I had barely any muscle. I had some decent legs, I'll give it to myself, because I used to play defender when I was playing soccer. So yeah, I did have some decent legs, and so I got into the gym and I loved it. I used it as an escape initially to kind of avoid my problems, but then later on it turned into a kind of a self-improvement way. So I'd go to the gym and I started to feel more confident. I started to really enjoy it. I started to look really good, really shredded, and I was loving my life again. I finally learned how to I guess live without that with that person, and that is very special once you get to that feeling. And personally, for the gym, that helped me. And this is why a lot of my content, I try and push you guys into training and try and get into the gym. Not only does it help you physically, but it helped me mentally as well. As my place to escape. And the gym does teach you a lot of good life lessons. Discipline, definitely one of them. And you can use all of these factors into building a life you want, into getting more money, into socializing. And that's definitely, I really thank the gym, to be honest, because the gym has helped me a lot in my life. Not only am I in good shape and I'm confident from that, I'm also confident in my socializing skills because of my confidence from my physique. Even just in the gym, just talking to people, I've used that discipline and started my own roof maintenance business, in which I do enjoy, but I am pursuing a full-time career in content creation. and at the moment it is just a little side hobby for me. Not so much a side hobby, but a side hustle, and I love it. It's definitely what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to become something bigger, and I knew this from a young age when I pursued soccer. I went over to England in year 7, and tried out for Manchester United's academy and everything. And it was definitely a very awesome experience. But eventually, I just lost my love for the game when I was in, I believe, year 9. Yeah, I decided to quit soccer, and everyone thought I was stupid because I was getting very good at it, and I had offers, and I had trial offers in other countries, which was obviously very big at the time. I was only 16, and I definitely know I could have made it because I had that mindset, and I've always had that mindset to become something bigger, and I'm a very competitive person. So when it came to my soccer, I was never backing down. I was always trying to be the best, and I think that's definitely a great mindset to carry with you in life. But yeah, so I've always wanted to become something better, because honestly, thinking about a 9-to-5 job makes me depressed. And I don't know if that's you guys as well, but personally that's for me. I can't imagine myself just kind of working a basic 9-to-5 job and then coming home and watching the TV and all that such. That's just not me. I want to be out making a change in the world and really make my family proud. I grew up basically with no dad. I mean, I do have a dad, but he was never there for me in my life. And my mum had a big divorce when I was a kid, and ultimately left us, and didn't really have a dad growing up. So I was kind of forced to grow up on myself, which is a tough thing, I'll be honest, but it did help me to grow into the man I've become today. Ultimately mature from a young age, grow up from a young age. I was forced to do that, and I mean, you can't really control those circumstances, but that's ultimately what it came to. And I grew up with a no dad my whole life, basically no dad. I mean, I see him here and there, but he's done nothing for us, and it is disappointing, but he does set a role model for someone who I do not want to become, which is ultimately good for myself anyway, so I can learn off that and develop ways into making myself a better man. But so we had no, me and my brother, I have a 16-year-old brother, we had no dad growing up, and I mean, we had some father figures, as we are Aboriginal, so we did have some support from the community, and then my mum as well, she's working in that kind of the law firm such, and she worked in the courthouse, so we did get some support. But I mean, it's not the same, you still come home with the single mum and the 4 kids. So growing up, it was a very tough time, very struggle, and thankful that I have started my own life, and my mum's got an awesome job in, actually I won't disclose the location, but she's got an awesome job, and she's definitely living her life now, and everything's coming together. And my brother's got an awesome career opportunity going to America next year, so I'm very, very proud of him. We're a very dedicated and motivated family into trying to make something better of our situation, because you can either look at a situation where you basically feel sorry for yourself and ultimately just stay there forever, or you can keep your head up and get through it. And so that's me and my family. We're all a family of fighters, and I love it. So I mean, the whole purpose of me creating content is to try and get you guys to realize that I was in that depressive state as well. I mean, first heartbreak, growing up, very struggle with money, with no dad, a lot of domestic violence growing up, a lot of violence. It wasn't too much of a good time, but my mum tried her best, and she did a great job into developing me and my brother into young, great men. And I thank for that a lot. And yeah, I mean, I definitely, that's, I want to make it up to her one day. Really try and push to kind of give back to her, that would make me happy. A lot of people say money isn't happiness, but I mean, when you really think about it, coming from a struggle household and worrying about the bills every week and all that, you can kind of have a bit of, I guess, a holiday with it all, and you can just pay it off and kind of enjoy your life. I mean, anybody that knows struggle and money issues knows how hard it is and how stressful it is dealing with that stuff. So I definitely reckon money does buy happiness. I mean, personally for me, once I do start making good money, then I will be giving back, and that will make me happy to see all my friends and my family, and rewarding them for all they did and helped me throughout my life. And that, I think that is happiness for me, just enjoying those moments with my family, and going to nice places and such, and again, not having to worry about paying the bills every week and how I'm gonna get $100 for food for the week on meal prep or such. It's just, I mean, that's personally my opinion. Everyone has a different debate on it, but I mean, that's just for me. But yeah, back to why I create content is ultimately to better your guys' lives. Coming from a very difficult growing up childhood, I want to show you that there is another way. And if you're having your heartbreak, or you're going through a tough time, there is another way. And I'm an example of this today. I'm trying to be an example of this today, of how I've overcome it, and how I'm trying to relate my content to you guys to ultimately become better people. There is another way, and there is a life worth living for, far more than for a girl. And when you grow up, you kind of realize that a bit more. Everyone grows a bit mature, but again, age doesn't necessarily mature you. I believe it is through life lessons. And I mean, that could be a little debate as well, but personally, I've developed and matured through life lessons, and as with age as well, but more life lessons, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole goal. I really I have a purpose, and it's not so much to change the fitness industry or any of that stuff. I'm just trying to help individuals' lives and show you that there is another way. And I feel like I'm a good example of that, and I'm going to practice preaching and getting into everything, trying to develop your guys' lives. So yeah, I mean, basically, the purpose of my content is to entertain, give tips and advice, and relate to help improve your life, and to show you that there is a life worth fighting for. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it about me. I'm currently 19, and I've been training for about 5 years. I started off about sport training for basketball, working on my vertical jump or so, because I quit soccer roughly around year 10. So I believe it's been 4 years. Yeah, I think you're about 16 when you're in year 10. And then I've been doing weight training, and I was doing I was getting really into it, and I went to do my first bodybuilding comp at the start of the year, but I did end up getting sick, and at that time I was in a toxic relationship. Again, problems with girls, yes, I know. It happens to everybody, but I was in a very toxic relationship, and it was bad, man. That was my first proper toxic relationship. I learned a lot of that. Most of this year I've took off to basically self-develop, and I finally learned how to be alone this year, so I am happy for myself for that, and I think that is very important. I was kind of reload jumping, to be honest, for the last 3 years, and it wasn't too good, but I mean, I took this year off to kind of self-develop, really reflected, and all that boring stuff that that your mum and everyone says, it does work. And I'll be honest, I did try all that, and yeah, it definitely works. I was in a toxic relationship, constant fighting, constant stress. I was constant mood swings, depressed, happy. I didn't even like the gym. I stopped going to the gym for 3 months and stopped pursuing my goals. And I'm a very ambitious, and anybody that knows me knows I'm a very ambitious and driven person. And at that time, it was very, very hard for me to kind of follow a path that, obviously the person I was in love with didn't really support me. And again, support is very big in a relationship, and if any of you guys get a new girlfriend, make sure she supports you. But ultimately, everyone is supposed to, like with you and your partner, ultimately the whole goal of it is for you to just support each other on your journey, and enjoy your time. Hopefully you stay together, but while you are together. And I think that's very important. You got to find someone that does support you, and I've definitely learned a lot of that relationship and learned a lot of many of my other relationships. Heartbreak can be a very good learning experience, and I urge you to really take the time to self-develop, reflect on your actions, learn from them, and become a better person. But yeah, I was in a toxic relationship, not enjoying the gym, which I know is freaking crazy, because everybody that knows me knows I'm the biggest gym junkie out, to be honest. But no, I love it. I mean, at that time, I just wasn't feeling it. I was stuck in that kind of whole matrix system. I was still working for myself. I've been having my business all year, but just working, coming home, seeing my girlfriend, going to sleep, doing it again, and then hang out with the boys on the weekend. It was a tough time, and then I wasn't living with my mum at the time. I had my own place actually in the city, and then we ended up breaking up, and I was living on my own at 18, which was a very, very tough time, to be honest. If any of you guys have moved out on yourself, 18, 19, praise to you, because it is a very hard thing to do. And at that time, everything I had known had changed. My girlfriend at the time broke up, so I'm in a little studio apartment by myself in the city. And all my family and friends down in the inner west, and I decided to make the move again, and I got my own place here in the inner west. And I just couldn't do it. I just wasn't mentally strong enough. And I don't really blame myself. It was a very hard thing to do, living in the city with no friends, fresh off a breakup. I had no one there to support me, nothing. New gym, everything. I knew no one. And but I am glad I decided to I did move last year, like December, and lived there for a couple months. And I am glad at myself for, I guess, throwing myself in the deep end. And I always wanted to move out and try and experience life by living alone, really trying to kind of learn how to essentially make my own way in this world. And I threw myself in the deep end. Still had a girlfriend at the time. The goal was for her to move in, but things happen. So I lived there for myself, and it was very tough. And I decided to move back to my hometown, which is where I am today. And I'm enjoying it. I got all my friends, I can just call up the boys or whatever when after the gym and just, go hang out or something. But I'm very strict on my diet. Everyone knows this. I'm very strict on my diet. I'm very strict on my training. And I'm a very ambitious person. Definitely want more goals. I want to achieve all of my goals. I think most people my age at 19 are very, I guess, matrix orientated. They're working the 9 to 5s and they're escaping their reality on the weekend and not enjoying themselves for the whole week, depressed most of the week, and then go out on the weekend, blow all the money, and then come back on Monday, I got no money in my account, I hate my job, but they just keep complaining, keep not changing. And I was in that situation as well. That's why I can talk very heavily on it. And I did escape that, I believe, by starting my own thing up. And my ultimate goal is to have financial freedom in doing what I love. And I think I will make it there. I got to manifest to believe something. You got to manifest something for it to happen. It's very important to believe something that will happen. And if you don't believe in anything that you're going to achieve, then you're not going to achieve it. It's that simple. But I was stuck in that kind of system at the start of the year when I was with my girlfriend at the time, and it was very very depressive life, to be honest. I was not enjoying it one bit. I hated my life. I wanted to fucking kill myself when I was in a relationship and everyone thought I was happy. But no, man, no. Social media can be very deceiving. I was not happy, but I was still posting here and there, but very, very depressive state of mind, and I was looking like shit. I got to 115 kilos, which is very big, if anybody's ever been that size, but I was muscle and fat. It wasn't all fat. I was the biggest I've ever been. Currently, I am 94. I've gone on a cut most of the year and lost a fair bit of weight. I feel great, I feel fit, I look great, and being 115 kilos is very, very hard. I felt sluggish all the time. I felt big and out of breath. It was horrible, and I looked like shit as well. My acne was horrible. I had a little beard thing going on. It was a tough time. But I got through it. And I'm here today. I'm thankful that I got through that tough situation. That was a tough heartbreak, to be honest, because ultimately it wasn't what I thought it was to be. And I think your imagination is a very big thing in a relationship. You can dream and imaginate this person to be the love of your life, and that they're your everything, and you then disregard all the red flags you see and everything. And that's why it's very important to keep a realistic standpoint instead of a kind of imaginative. And I stand by that today, by being realistic about things, looking at everything in a real world, because obviously not a lot of people stay together forever. It's not a very common thing, and it sucks because we grow up in a shitty generation, to be honest. There's a lot of toxicity, and I was living in an imagination world, and I pictured this person to be someone that I thought she wasn't. Everyone thought I was very happy, and I clearly wasn't. And nobody knew this until after the breakup. But enough talking about my ex. I'm well and truly over her, and I've got a beautiful girlfriend now, and she definitely does make me very happy. And it's awesome because I'm going to be filming with her brother. Actually, her brother's a very like-minded individual like me, and we're going to be filming content together. I always thought it's pretty cool to have a girlfriend where I genuinely get along with her family, and me and her brother are like best friends. It's awesome. So I'm going to be filming with him, so stay tuned for that. He's a very good guy, very like-minded, calm, spiritual person, and he definitely has a story to tell as well. So I'll probably invite him on the podcast soon, and we can just talk about life and our experiences and ultimately how we've gotten through them. And no, I think you guys will love him, but I definitely have a lovely girlfriend now. Definitely the best I've ever had. The connection between us is awesome, and I definitely think we can get a long way with this one. But I wasn't really looking for a relationship because, as I said, I finally learned how to be happy alone. But it just came to me, and you can't disregard any opportunities that come to you. And I guess I took it. And I wasn't looking for a relationship, but I guess the best love comes when you're not looking for it. But yeah, I mean, enough about my love life. Everybody has their love life, and I'd rather keep that personal, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, again, the whole purpose with my content is to try and relate to you guys. You know, I am another human being with emotions and feelings, and I've gone through shit, got through shit, and trying to help you guys achieve it. Achieve the success you wanted, the future you wanted, and trying to overcome that struggle that you are currently going through. And I'm gonna be talking about this a lot in this podcast. This podcast is trying to, improve young individuals' lives and people to help, have a better life. Like hopefully learn stuff from me and how I've overcome it, and show you that anything is possible. So this podcast, I would be talking a lot about my outlooks on life, my situation, my current opinion on situations in the real world. Basically a self-development podcast. That's basically what this podcast is going to be. But yeah, I mean, those are my points. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and it's definitely been a great run, and I'm looking forward to episode 2. Stay tuned, and if you could follow me on Instagram at Cameron_Turner03, and I do have TikTok now. What was my username? I think it was Cameron.Turner03. Yeah, that was it. I got shadow banned on both accounts, so I've restarted, which does suck, but hey, what can you do? I'm trying to make an impact in this world, and I get limited for it, which, I'm not going to talk too much on before this podcast gets banned. But hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for episode 2. Peace out.